You're working harder than ever. Your paycheck says you're earning more than last year. But somehow, your life feels tighter, your savings smaller, your goals further away. So what happened? Because the truth is, you're being robbed. Not by your boss, not by a thief, but by a system that steals in silence. This isn't the kind of theft you can see on your bank statement. It doesn't show up in your payslip or your tax form. But it's real, and it's happening to almost everyone. It's called silent wage theft, and it's the reason your raise never feels like one. Today, we'll uncover how it happens, why it hurts, and what you can do to fight back. Let's start with a simple question. Have you ever felt proud after getting a raise, only to realize months later that nothing really changed? That's not in your head. It's not bad budgeting. It's math. You see, your income has two sides, nominal and real. Your nominal income is the number on your paycheck. Your real income is what that number can actually buy. And over the last few decades, those two lines stopped matching. Your nominal income keeps going up, but your real income, your buying power, keeps going down. Here's how it feels. 10 years ago, $1,000 could fill your grocery cart, pay bills, and still leave some extra for a dinner out. Today, that same $1,000 feels like pocket change. So when you get a raise, it often only covers the rising cost of surviving. That's the silent wage theft. It doesn't steal your money directly. It steals the meaning of your money. Psychologically, it's devastating. Because your brain connects effort with reward. You work harder, you expect more comfort, more peace, more progress. But when the numbers lie, your brain starts to question the value of effort itself. This is why burnout is rising. It's why motivation feels so fragile. You give your all, but your results feel invisible. And here's the cruel part. The system wants you to feel that way. Because when you feel just close enough to success, you keep chasing. You buy more, borrow more, work more, all while your real power shrinks. That's not progress. That's survival disguised as success. Now, let's talk about the villain behind the curtain, inflation. Inflation sounds boring, but it's the most powerful, invisible thief in your life. Every time prices rise faster than your income, inflation quietly steals from you. A dollar today buys less tomorrow, and that's by design. Here's the psychological trick. When prices rise slowly, we don't panic. A loaf of bread costs 20 cents more, gas a few dollars extra. It feels small. But add that up over years, and the average worker loses thousands in real value. You don't notice because the numbers keep rising too. Your salary, your bills, your rent. Everything inflates together. So it feels normal. That's what makes it so dangerous. Imagine running a marathon, but the finish line keeps moving every time you take a step. That's what inflation does to your goals. And while we're distracted by the race, the people who move the line, governments, corporations, and central banks, make sure they always stay one step ahead. Inflation isn't just an economic term. It's emotional erosion. It eats away at trust. Trust in money, trust in work, trust in the future. And when people stop believing effort leads to reward, society starts to crack. But here's the truth. Awareness is power. Because once you see the trick, you can stop running and start strategizing. Let's go deeper, because this isn't only about money. It's about how your mind reacts when your effort stops paying off. Humans are wired for fairness. We need to believe that effort equals progress. That's how we survive, compete, and grow. But when the system breaks that rule, we experience something psychologists call learned helplessness. It's when you try and try, but the results never match your effort, so eventually, you stop trying. That's what's happening to millions right now. People aren't lazy. They're tired of a game that doesn't play fair. They're emotionally disconnected from their own goals. And it gets worse. When you feel powerless financially, your self-worth starts to erode. You start measuring your value by what you don't have. You compare yourself to others, their homes, their vacations, their success, and you forget your own growth. That's how silent wage theft turns into mental wage theft. It doesn't just steal your money, it steals your motivation. But there's hope, because awareness is the first step to control. Once you understand how the system manipulates your psychology, you can stop reacting and start responding. You stop asking, why can't I afford more? And start asking, how can I build value that can't be inflated away? That's the shift from helplessness to empowerment. So how do you protect yourself from the silent theft? You can't stop inflation, and you can't rewrite the economy, but you can change your strategy. Here's how. Learn the difference between income and value. Money is temporary, skills are permanent. A raise can be erased by inflation, but a valuable skill multiplies over time. Invest in what grows faster than prices. That could be knowledge, a digital business, or an asset that earns while you sleep. Don't store all your energy in cash. Store it in creation. Rewire your definition of success. The old world said, work hard, buy things. The new world says, work smart, build things. You don't need a mansion or a luxury car to feel successful. You need control over your time, your mind, and your future. And 4. Talk about it. The more people understand silent wage theft, the harder it becomes for systems to hide it. Financial awareness is modern rebellion. Because here's the truth. The world has changed, but the human mind is powerful enough to adapt faster. You can't control the tide, but you can learn to surf it. And the moment you start seeing through the illusion, you stop being a victim. You become the architect of your own reality. Silent wage theft isn't about numbers. It's about control. Every time your paycheck loses power, your sense of progress fades. But when you focus on creating value, not just earning income, you reclaim that power. You can't stop the system, but you can rise above it. And that's real wealth, awareness, adaptability, and freedom. If this opened your eyes, share it. Someone you know is still wondering why their raise feels like a trap. Comment your thoughts, like, and subscribe, because the more we understand the game, the more we can change it. Together.